Good evening. I'm Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR-ETF stock market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Monday, the 14th of August, 2023. All right, this is retailer week. Yeah, we're going to get all the boys coming in. We're going to get Walmart, Target, TJ Maxx. I can go on and on. The list is there. Even Home Depot is going to be in this. So we're going to get a feel for what is going on. And the big question is, has the service industry continued to, and does it deflate the sales in these mostly brick and mortar stores? So that's going to be a big question. Obviously, the consumer, we keep saying he's tapped out, and he just keeps taking on more debt, setting all these records, and buying. So what is he buying? Is he buying the goods? Is he buying groceries? What is he buying? We're going to find that out. Durable goods, we'll find this all out now. So it all starts coming about now. We had no key economic reports today. I think we have 5 good ones tomorrow. So buckle in. You're going to get some action there. As for the marketplace today, it's a little bit of everything. You can see Home Depot down a little bit this week. Google's still acting good. Netflix came alive. Tesla cut their price again in China. So that came down. You had a big move up in Nvidia today. We'll cover that in a little bit here too. Probably more short covering. Plus, you got earnings coming in. AMC got smashed, as you could see. But remember, there's 2 classes of stock with what the judge allowed Friday afternoon. So now you got the ape in this. They'll all roll into one. Then what the company will decide is they'll have a reverse stock split. I'm giving you my guess. Nobody's calling me about this. It'll be 2 for 1, 3 for 1. They'll have some split to get the price up. Then they'll go back and they'll get suckers to buy their debt. We'll see what happens, all right? It's still at best, as much as we all love to go to a movie, it's a hard business to make money in. And with this strike going on in Hollywood, and so far, I heard that they met. I didn't see anything positive in the news. Maybe they're just holding it close to their vest, but I didn't see anything. The longer it goes on, the harder it is for those companies. So let's look at TGT. By the way, on this version, I decided to leave up some of the signals that I could play with. I use my charting software for this. I can make it full screen, anything I want to do. On TGT, you can see the market's slipping back, but you're really caught in overall sideways action as you've come down here. I think you'd agree with that. So this could be baseline trading. It could be creating market just going flat on you. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll lift it up, and now you can see how long it has been going sideways. This began in June, and the market hasn't been able to get out of this the whole time. The trend is down as you've made a pattern of lower highs, lower lows. I'm showing you the most recent lower highs there. You're under the 18-day average, which is under the 100, which is under the 200. Classic bearish setup that happened all the way back up there when you had the crossovers. Now, here's the sideways action. Here's Bollinger Bands. Remember, 95% of the time you'll trade within the bands. Yeah, you'll get over it here and here. It gets the people suckered in, and then all of a sudden it spins back on you in 72 hours and you go, what did I do to myself? When I see these type of patterns, I often tell clients to run away from them. These are the worst patterns you can get in. It frustrates you. You tie up your money. What inevitably happens is a client will say, I bought it wrong. I like the company. I'm just going to hold it. Now they got less buying power for something else because people don't like to take losses. You know I'm right on that. Here you are, sitting with an oversold market into a lower Bollinger Band in a downtrend in earnings week. Okay. As we step over to Rivian, as I said, this market might want to be getting down, and I said this last week, back to the 200-day average. I don't look for a big decline from here, but that could easily happen with all these. As we step with UGA, the gasoline fund, you got up last week to the upper Bollinger Band and immediately set back. It's exactly what I teach in my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Remember, it's on our website, irapstein.com, under the word education. Go look at it. You'll learn something from that. And it's the flip-flop. On XLF, you went to the lower Bollinger Band in an oversold condition. That's where I think the pros step away from the market. Are you sideways? Absolutely. I'm not surprised. These are the dog days of summer right now. You don't think XLI has gone sideways? Tell me. Are you getting frustrated trading in there? That's the idea. Oversold market, keeps going to the lower Bollinger Band, rallies back to the 18-day average, not going anywhere and can't seem to develop a trend. Nvidia, whoa, snap back today, big time, up $28. But remember, you got a $400 stock. But still, a 7% move in one day, that's because some of the analysts came out and said, this is cheap, they want to own it, they think the next earnings reports are going to be good. Well, better be, because at the premium the stock is carrying, it can't afford bare news. Just because we all think AI is the next big thing doesn't mean people are buying like mad. On the other hand, we get reports every day that companies trying to get their chips simply can't get them. Not because they're barred, they can't get them. The company can't make them fast enough. So this is why this market's so difficult all of a sudden. In coins, still falling away. What this needs, what Ethereum needs, what Bitcoin needs, if they're not going to get the ETF legitimacy, this market stays in the shadows. I don't know that under our current head, Gensler, I think it is, that he wants to do this so fast. They keep pushing it down the road. I realize that you've got a stable coin that PayPal is trying to promote and blah, blah. But in America, these things just haven't been that successful. I mean, that's just the reality. I've yet to find anybody that owns one to take me into a store where we can buy a cup of coffee or something else. I mean, I'll make myself available in Chicago. If you want to find me somewhere, it's beautiful. But that's basically the reality of it. And when you find your one store, what did you prove? Because I'll find 3 more coffee stores probably within a 5-block radius if you're in a big city that don't take them. That's your issue. As we look at XHB, the housing sector, sideways action suddenly, not wanting to really go anywhere one way or the other just yet. Then we get to the energy sector. So it's pushing on the upper band, still embedded. Until you get the red line under 79, this is still bullish. In the gold market, what do you do with the dollar this strong? You think that gold's going to survive that? You're on your own. This is what's happening. You could overlay, maybe I'll do that one of these days, overlay gold in the US dollar and show you the two as to the divergences, because that's what I've been telling you was going to hurt this market, and it's doing so. However, I do think big support awaits this market right under it between 176.44 and 76.08. I'll be surprised if you don't see short covering show up at that price. In the silver market, it too is bearish. Embedded reading. It's the first move under the 200-day average. It's not even blinking, which tells me probably going to 2031. In the copper market, China talks the talk, can't do the walk. You now have, over the weekend, if you read, you saw that in the shadow banking, one of the biggest shadow bankers is missing. It's gone into default on notes that it has. So now we've got Countrywide, we've got this company, who else is on the block? There'll be more. And what is China's answer to fix it? Let me tell you the exact thing they did. I read the statement. We're creating a task force to look into it. Okay. This is why they're paralyzed. This is what's wrong with an economy like China. So as much as people think they're ready to take over the world, what you have to be as Americans, Europeans, and other savvy people is run away from that economy, because it comes down to one man shutting the whole economy down for a COVID or whatever else, and you can't run things that way. You do well, you do too well, they shut you down. Alibaba, a great tale of that, okay? And go to chip makers. You do too well, what are you doing? You can't sell that way. You can't really run enterprise that way. You can make all the socks, S-O-C-K-S, you want. You can make T-shirts galore. But now you start getting into the other products that require a lot more ingenuity, maybe is the right word. Might be the wrong one, but might be. You got to run, and you got to protect. And do I see the U.S. and China having a breakthrough and getting closer together anytime? No, not going into an election. The mantra is going to be anti-Chinese. You don't have to believe me. That's what you're going to hear. We can't let them. Who's them? They're not the bad people. The government we have a problem with. This is what you're going to be dealing with over and over. We hear in American press, oh, Russia's doing fine, economically. They got the oil. They're getting all these revenues. Most people don't pay attention. The ruble went through 100 to the dollar. The Central Bank of Russia called an emergency meeting for tomorrow. What they're going to do, I don't know, but they have a problem. They have a big problem. Since their invasion, I think, was it February 22? I forgot myself the exact time. Their currency has fallen 27%. And I know you're going to tell me, oh, Ira, that means their goods are cheaper on the world market. Sort of like what happens with the yuan. You get too cheap, and what happens is people don't want to invest in industry. Russia, like China, is telling you what you can do with your companies. It's not a free state that you think it is. This is what you're going to do. We're in a wartime effort. This is how it's going to play out. Your rights get curtailed. You have a dictator. They call him a president. He's a dictator. Understand what's going on. In TLT, you've got lower highs, lower lows, pushing the market. If it embeds, possibly even lower prices till it loses that. Here's a bullish embedded reading. Finally, the dollar gets up to the Bollinger Band again. That's where I look for some profit, but you just had a bullish crossover. The 18-day average of closes just got over the 200. I mean, this is all just still bullish as can be. I thought back here that we'd get a rally that wouldn't do that, all right? But then I changed my gears and I said that here. Said, I see it. The pattern's bullish again. And that's exactly what happened, which means bearish on the euro at this point. You put it all together, you try to come up with game plans, and that's my job to help you with. One of the ways you do it is you learn. Education is so much. So we have, via our good friends from Modern Trader, profitable trading strategies in all markets. Now, this was put together. I had a lot of hands in putting some of these things in magazines and so on with them over many years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, working with them. These look, if you get my newsletter, you know the charts, and it's got a feel for things that I had a lot with. The base pattern, you know what that is? That's when those Bollinger Bands come in. 10 rules. Okay, there's more than 10, but this gives you guidelines, and they're very important. How do you get it? Let me give you the guideline. You go to iraepstein.com. On the top left, you'll see free offers. If you're on a PC, you can move right up here. Give it a click. You'll see an icon as you move up there. Do it that way. And the old-fashioned way, none of this works for you for whatever reason, give my staff a call. They'll get everything out to you while you're on the phone with them. Could it be easier? I don't think so. You have a good evening. I'll see you first thing in the morning. Take care.